not a messenger of Christ, but a deceiver. Some modern teachers claim that Jesus himself warned about Paul, that when Jesus spoke of false prophets and the leaven of the Pharisees, he was secretly talking about a man who would come later, the Apostle Paul. They argue that Paul's message of grace and faith is cheap salvation, that it contradicts the hard road Jesus preached in the Gospels. But is that true? Or has Scripture been pulled out of context to fit a modern narrative? To find out, we need to do what the Bereans did in Acts 17. Examine the Scriptures daily to see if these things are so. The accusation begins with the belief that Jesus' words in Matthew 5:19, "Whoever breaks one of the least of these commandments and teaches others to do the same will be called least in the kingdom of heaven," were a prophecy about Paul, because the name Paul means small or little. Critics suggest that Jesus was subtly warning about a future teacher who would minimize the law. But this interpretation ignores two things: language and context. When Jesus said, "least in the kingdom," he wasn't giving a coded prediction. He was describing a moral reality, that those who trivialize God's commands lose spiritual influence, even if they are still within God's kingdom. The statement contrasts greatness with smallness in obedience, not names or identities. To make it about Paul is to miss the entire point of the Sermon on the Mount, which was about heart obedience and kingdom values, not secret identities. Another claim says that when Jesus warned his disciples, "Beware of the leaven of the Pharisees and of Herod," he was talking about Paul, because Paul had once been a Pharisee and by bloodline connected to the Herodians. But Jesus wasn't warning about a single person. In the Gospels, leaven symbolized corruption, the subtle hypocrisy and unbelief of the Pharisees, not their family lineage. The disciples misunderstood Jesus too, thinking he meant literal bread, but he corrected them. "How do you not understand that I did not speak about bread?" The leaven Jesus condemned was spiritual pride, the same pride he rebuked in all religious leaders who twisted God's law for power.